Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrader.com weekend wrap-up show. Hope everybody is having a beautiful, glorious weekend. 90 degrees, September the 24th. Global warming is real. Global warming is definitely real. Right now, we are enjoying the 90-degree weather. Again, as much as everybody says, oh, it's so hot, it's so hot. Come back to me in 2 months when it's going to be the high of 26 for the day, and then you'll remember this day. It wasn't so bad, was it? So let's get back to the markets, right? Let's get back to the markets. So a flat week for the indexes, right? The Dow gained 0.4%, the S&P was flat, and the NASDAQ 100 fell 0.3%, right? And again, as we've been saying this for years and years and years, in the new market, completely new rules, completely different players. The technology obviously plays a whole part of it. But I said a long time ago, and I continue to reiterate the point, that there's no such thing as a stock market anymore. Zero. There's no such thing as a stock market anymore. It's just a market full of stocks. And if you looked at the indexes, and this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you would turn around and say, oh, the action is dead. It's horrible. Oh, now the Jewish holidays kicked in, Rosh Hashanah, and nobody's around. The volume is terrible. And you know what? It's completely the opposite. Again, the action continues to be just really, really strong. Very, very strong action in the high beta names, in the small cap names. And the wonderful thing about this new market is every single day can be its completely random momentum. So certain days when you think are going to be very good, it could be a little bit slower. And certain days that you say, wow, it's going to be a quiet day. All of a sudden, all these setups come, they fall into your lap. And the next thing you know, you're putting together a pretty decent session. I think the key macro news continues to be the really, uneasy fallout between the United States and North Korea. They're going back and forth. As joking aside, we talked about this, for the whole week. Trump calling Jong a rocket man, and then next thing you know, Jong is calling Trump deranged. It's all fun and games. This little tit for tat type of scenario, but things are getting really scary. Things are getting really scary. Eventually, somebody is going to start the game of chicken, and now we're getting comments coming out of North Korea that Jong is saying, Trump is going to pay. I mean, these are his words. Trump is going to pay for his threats. Again, these are not idle, little things you could just put on the bulletin board and say, well, you can't get away with that. These guys are real, man. These guys are firing missiles over Japan. They're, stone throws away from Hawaii. It's real, man. Things are real. And, for the most part, the market's done a great job kind of deflecting this news. Again, it kind of goes back to the theory of markets learn how to deal with markets that are in kind of disarray. And that's what this is. But it is kind of getting scary. Obviously, over the weekend, again, the whole Trump going against, basically, the players from the NFL. Again, the whole flag issue. Again, I'm not going into the whole politics game. I think there is a valid point on both sides, and that's kind of where I want to start and end that discussion. Again, I believe in our country. I believe in the idea of freedom. I believe in the right of free speech. I believe in all that, okay? So the most important part is, I guess at the end of the day, is unification. Again, hopefully every neighbor will grab the neighbor's hand and say, look, we just want to continue to be good human beings above everything else, above politics. That's kind of how I see all of this weekend's events. So again, God bless us all, right? I mean, there's nothing really to say. God bless us all. Getting into the market, right? Getting into the market. I mean, we've been calling, if you guys remember, even going back to last week, for all you guys who are joining us via Facebook or StockTwits or Twitter or YouTube, the one thing you remember me talking about as of last week was the roundabout top that was forming. A lot of people never got it, never saw it, never spotted the weakness. I did. I mean, we started talking about this last weekend. This roundabout top that started. And again, when we went to the last roundabout top, we had a 2% decline followed by another 2% decline. And if you saw how the market kind of reacted, especially in the NASDAQ 100, we traded right to the 50-day moving average that we thought was going to be tested. And again, the good news about that is, did anybody even notice, right? I noticed it. I saw the dangers, potential dangers. Again, it didn't really translate into anything horrific. There was nothing, you know, as far as Armageddon goes, but it was real. Technical analysis is real, and we did back test into these levels. For the whole week, I was shorting Amazon, shorting Google for the week, Tesla we were shorting for the week. So it played out like we thought. And again, it's not a problem until the NASDAQ 100 falls under the 50-day moving average. Any close, and again, this is kind of a number you want to write down and pay attention for next week. Any number, any close below 143.50 on the Qs, you know, we could have a problem. You know, we could have a problem and start, you know, gradually going down to this 100-day moving average and the support right around here. Again, we don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but it's a real possibility, the same way it was a real possibility of the market kind of rolling, you know, doing a rolling back top. And again, there was a lot of evidence, you know, again, a lot of evidence to suggest that we might continue a sell-off that nobody even noticed in the beginning. If you remember, Apple came out with the event, right? The iPhone 8 event, or iPhone 88 event, who can keep track these days, but they came out with their event, it was very, very muted. The stock got sold. Tesla got upgraded, right? What happened? The stock got sold. Apple gets upgraded by Morgan Stanley, street-wide high of target, $194. The stock gets sold. Alibaba gets upgraded Friday. Initially, the stock was down like $1 and change the whole day. Finally, rallied, ended up about 75 cents higher. But again, all these things are big deals. NVIDIA had the same thing. Again, NVIDIA also got upgraded this week. Again, the stock sold off. So as traders, we look for clues. Okay, we look for clues to kind of confirm our data. Again, we are gatherers of data. A lot of traders don't see it that way, but the way we run the live webinar is I gather data, I make an educated bias, and I get confirmed with price action. That's what we do every single week. So it played out. It played out this week. Very, very good week of trading. Very, very good week of trading. I think net this week, I took out about $8-9 with runners on Amazon, caught Google for about 4 or 5 points, Tesla, you know, several dollars as well. So I was very, very happy with the week. Thursday and Friday, volume shrank a little bit because of the Jewish holidays. I believe Yom Kippur is either, and again, I'm such a bad Jew. I haven't been a Jew now since 2000 when I got married in a Roman Catholic church. I know, yes, I know, it's crazy. So I have to check when the Yom Kippur holiday is, but you're going to see a lot more volume shrink because, again, a lot of the big fund managers are Jewish and they do observe those holidays. So we could expect to see a little bit more days that are much more controlled and aggressive, but boy, oh boy, you have to be really, really impressed with the action. So let's go over Friday's session. Okay, we'll get set up for the week. Xerox, you know, this has been on our watch list now for about a week. Beautiful chart. I mean, really, really beautiful chart. Again, I didn't even know Xerox was still in business, but we had this as a $33 break. It finally closed above the $33 level for all you guys, especially in a part-time trader program, who took it for a swing trade. Again, now all you need to do is use the previous day's low, which is 32.75. 32.74 is your stop. And now hopefully this thing will just grind for the next couple of weeks and maybe give it 10-15% move. So for all you guys who are in the stock, good job. Amazon, again, I've been shorting this thing all week. And you can see we talked about this level Thursday into Friday, the whole day. I mean, the whole day we talked about this 362, 360 level. That was the level on our watch list. And, you know, I've been shorting the stock the whole week through, and I shorted the stock the first time. Just to give you an idea, I kind of screwed up this trade. So I shorted the stock the first time. Okay, stock only went down like $1. Okay, that's it. Only went down $1, and the buyers just kept on sitting there around the 360 and a half level. And the one thing that the PS60 theory is completely different from any other trading style or trading process is that we are fighting time. We're not fighting a price, we're fighting time. So if we can't get a valid confirmation that that pivot is being consumed by our side of the market, we got to get out. And I gave it every opportunity the first time around, and I wound up making only 30-35 cents on the trade, the initial trade. And then the stock rallied like $2, $3. So my initial read was right. Again, we're not looking for the closing price. We're looking to back up our data and win that interval. So I got out of the trade, stock rallied $3, and then the stock remounted. Stock remounted off that pivot so that I reshorted. Okay, so I reshorted and started taking profits on the way down. My lowest cover was up $3 and like $3.20, something like that. But what I noticed was and I sat in the trade for like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. What I noticed was there was a reload buyer at the 958 level. I'm talking about over and over and over again. And what screwed me out of the trade, my last runner, was right here. Okay, here's where it completely screwed me. So I knew, and again, I was short at 961 and change. So I knew if they confirmed this previous candle here above this like 959.30 level, excuse me, right here, 959, right, 959.30 level, I knew there was a chance the stock can get back to like 362 on a bounce. And so I didn't want to take that chance. So I covered the stock. I covered my last runner up like $1.70, which was, looking back at it, and again, it's very, very tough to turn around and say 20, hindsight's 2020, but I really thought if there was going to be any bounce, it was going to stop me out anyway, break even. So I figured, you know what, let me take the $1.70 profit. And as soon as I covered, and again, this is kind of sometimes we talk about in trading that really, really hits us with a hammer, because we have to appreciate price action and really embrace price action. That as soon as I covered it, it was sitting there again for another half hour, 40 minutes. And then next thing you know, they just sold this thing off for the $6. So, I did okay with it. I did okay with it. $3 is still $3, but $8 would have been a lot better. Again, congratulations for all you guys who did catch the full move the trade. I know a lot of you guys had the option side of it, which was the right thing to do. I know a lot of you guys when the stock triggered off that 962, 961 level. I know a lot of you guys took the 957.5 puts and the 955 puts. They all paid out. So congratulations to you guys who took the option flow there. On the video, here is a sneaky pivot. And this is where we talk about sneaky pivots right over here. This is a sneaky pivot right here. Again, new traders and just day traders in general, they always look to the top of the channel, the bottom of the channel, but the biggest value is always these sneaky pivots, especially the ones I talk about throughout the session. And here was the pivot, 180. It broke 180, and you can see what NVIDIA did. Went all the way down to 178.80s. So that was good as well. Here's talking about bounce spots. Congratulations to you guys. I called out this bounce spot right here. As you can see here, this linear regression line. Again, if you believe in the theory that stocks go from supply to supply, demand to demand, then you have to believe that stocks will bounce off demand. Again, congratulations to all you guys who caught that 188 bounce, went to like 189.30s. Good job there as well. Let me see what else. Tamim has been just absolutely knocking things out of the park. Here's the trade on EFX above this. Right here. It was above this 202.20 level. You can see what the stock did. Just an absolute great job. He's picked up his PS60 theory very, very quickly. Again, guys, the most important part every single day. And by the time Friday rolls around, I was just like literally exhausted. But again, I was very, very happy with the week, especially Monday through Wednesday. I did okay on Thursday. I did fine on Friday, but Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were really, really aggressive areas of interest. So going into this week, again, we have to see how long the market will embrace any type of bad news. Again, the more threats that become kind of a weekly thing, eventually will become very, very scary. Okay, will become very, very scary. The early notes right now, early signs, futures, the Dow is down about 27 handles, the S&P is down about a point, and the NASDAQ 100 is down 9 points, and it's kind of playing out the way we've been talking about since last week. Again, the big pivot on the QQQs for this week. Look at the daily chart here. The big pivot on the QQQs this week will be a close below 143.60. Excuse me, 143.50. That is the 50-day EMA, okay, bounce off the 50-day SMA. I think the key level here will be any close under the 143.50 level, and you can probably start swinging this thing all the way down to the 141 level on the NASDAQ 100. So let's talk about some names that I definitely like going into this week. Again, Amazon, for all you guys, if we do get an aggressive gap down, I still think Amazon sees 946 to 943. So let's just say Amazon will be down 4 or 5 at the open. I'm watching this thing opening range highs. Again, for all you option players, get your ducks in a row. You know, maybe take the 940 weeklies. You know, maybe take the 940 weeklies. But I am definitely shorting this thing opening range lows. Google, that I had a really good trade in last week, starting to again, this roundabout top, it looks just like the Qs. So you can see 1 top, 2 top, 3 tops, they're all lower highs. So I'm going to be watching this thing, any close below the 936 level this week. Let's get into some ideas that are not high beta. Again, for all you guys who are trading beta, please get to the live webinar tomorrow. Morning strategy starts up at 9 a.m. Eastern time. We'll go through all the pivots on Tesla and all that good stuff. Let me give you guys some ideas that have nothing to do with high beta to kind of get your week going, because again, we've been trading everything in sight: small caps, mid caps, large caps, bottle caps, baseball caps, every cap necessary to make sure everybody's comfortable and make sure everybody is trading something that they feel good about. So let's get to some other names. Fuel cell. You guys remember these alternative energy names sounded great for years and years and years, and never made a really true dent. If you look at Ballard Power, right? If you look at BLDP, what BLDP has done since the end of August is pretty impressive. The stock is basically doubled. Now look at fuel cell. I can't remember the series, but there was some $2 calls being traded on this thing. Here's a top here, 179. Here's a top here, 179. So 178 was Friday's high. As you guessed it, 180 break. Any close above 180 should start getting this thing to 2, and any close above 2 can really set this off. So definitely keep an eye on fuel cell. Alpine, ALPN, again, I don't know what this thing is. It looks like a low float bio name. Big move here. Big move. Keep an eye on this thing above Friday's highs of 1170 for a potential move to 1246. That looks good as well. Okay. ALDR. ALDR, another bio name, again, coming off the bottom. Again, guys, remember, the value is always off the bottom. It's always off the bottom. It's never on the top. The more a stock maintains levels at highs, the better probability that the theory of gravity kicks in. And the last thing you want to do is diminish your odds of succeeding by buying, keep on buying higher highs, higher highs. Remember, the longer and the further a stock is away from its support or rising support, the better chance you have a very aggressive chance of a back test. But so keep an eye on ALDR, guys. If this thing gets above, that $11 area, you know, it could go. It could really go. Your risk here is 15 cents for a possible swing to about $13. So keep an eye on that. Also, let me give you one other biotech name. Look at this CACI, CACI. I mean, big move. I mean, look at this move here. Big move here. This is what I'm talking about. These stocks that just go these crazy moves and then they consolidate. Again, the longer the consolidation, the better the move. Watch this thing on a $2 break here as well. And let me see what else. I think I have one more little biotech for you guys. Yeah, CBIO, first close above this 474 high, stopped above supply. I think a red to green move could possibly get it going. I'm assuming the float is very small there as well. Other than that, guys, again, I have to assume that we are going to be on a 60-40 sell bias going into the week. Again, that could obviously change in a heartbeat, but again, we trade price action and see exactly what happens above there. So guys, have a great night. For all you folks who are joining us via YouTube or Twitter or StockTwits, again, video goes out Monday through Thursday, and again on the weekends. That's what you guys see at home. And the live webinar is 6 hours of live commentary. All my trades are right in front of you guys. All my executions. There's no way of faking trading real stocks, guys. Remember that. This is called trading. There's a big difference between trading and Twitter trading. Twitter trading is great, making 5 cents and doing a 9-hour webinar. When you're trading risk capital, you better make sure you're holding premium cards and make sure you are trading it like an adult. Guys, God bless. Have a great night. And when God's help, I'll see you all tomorrow.